Hester looked at Breland as she acknowledged the introduction. He appeared to be in his early 30s, tall and very straight, with square shoulders and the upright stance of a soldier. His features were regular, his expression polite but severely controlled, as if he felt he must be constantly on guard against any slip or relaxation of awareness. The last person was the Albertons' daughter, Merritt. She was about 16, with all the charm, the passion, and vulnerability of her years. She was fairer than her mother, and had not the beauty, but she had a similar strength of will in her face. She allowed herself to be introduced politely enough, but she did not make any attempt to pretend more than courtesy. The preliminary conversation was on matters as simple as the weather, the increase in traffic on the streets, and the crowd drawn by a nearby exhibition. Breland and Merritt moved a little apart, talking earnestly. Monk, Casbolt, and Judith Alberton discussed the latest play, and Hester fell into conversation with Daniel Alberton. "Lady Calandra told me you spent nearly 2 years out in the Crimea," he said with great interest. He smiled apologetically. "I'm not going to ask you the usual questions about Miss Nightingale. You must find that tedious by now." "She was a very remarkable person," Hester said. "I could not criticize anyone for seeking to know more about her." "You must have made decisions which altered other people's lives, perhaps saved them, or lost them," Alberton said. That was true. Hester remembered with a jolt just how desperate it had been. It was as remote from this quiet summer evening in an elegant London withdrawing-room, where the shade of a gown mattered, the cut of a sleeve. War, disease, shattered bodies, the heat and flies, or the terrible cold could all have been on another planet with no connection with this world at all, except a common language, and yet no words could ever explain one to the other. She nodded. "Do you not find it extraordinarily difficult to adjust from that life to this?" he asked. "Well, I came back burning with determination to reform all our hospitals here at home," she said ruefully. "As you can see, I did not succeed, for several reasons. The chief among them was that no one would believe I had the faintest idea what I was talking about. Women don't understand medicine at all, and nurses in particular are for rolling bandages, sweeping and mopping floors, carrying coal and slops, and generally doing as they are told." She allowed her bitterness to show. "It did not take me long to be dismissed, and earn my way by caring for private patients." There was admiration in Alberton's eyes as well as laughter. "Was that not very hard for you?" he asked. "Very," she agreed. "But I met my husband shortly after I came home. We were, I was going to say friends, but that is not true. Adversaries in a common cause would describe it far better. Did Lady Calandra tell you that he is a private agent of inquiry?" There was no surprise in his face, certainly nothing like alarm. In high society, gentlemen owned land or were in the army or politics. They did not work in the sense of being employed. But whatever family background Judith Alberton came from, her husband showed no dismay that his guest should be little better than a policeman, an occupation fit only for the least desirable element. "Yes," he admitted readily. "She told me she found some of his adventures quite fascinating, but she did not give me any details." Any further comment was cut short by the necessity of removing to the dining-room where dinner was ready to be served. Monk had been talking with Casbolt and Judith Alberton, with the occasional comment from Lyman Breland, who seemed to find light conversation tedious. He was too well-mannered to show it overtly, but Monk at least knew that he was bored. He wondered why Breland had come at all. The answer came at the end of the soup course, and as the fish was served. "Where do you live in America, Mr. Breland?" Hester asked innocently. "Our home is in Connecticut, ma'am," he replied, ignoring his food and gazing at her steadily. "But at present we are in Washington, of course. People are coming in from all over the northern part of the Union to gather to the cause, as no doubt you know." Casbolt and Alberton glanced at each other, and away again. "We are fighting for the survival of an ideal of freedom and liberty for all men," Breland continued emphatically. "Volunteers are pouring in from every town and city, and from the farms even far inland and to the west." Merritt's face was suddenly alight. She looked for a moment at Breland, her eyes shining, then back to Hester. "When they win, there will be no more slavery," she proclaimed. "All men will be free to come and go as they choose, to call no man master. It will be one of the greatest and noblest steps mankind has taken, and they will do it even at the cost of their lives, their homes, whatever it